guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about how getting lean, okay, improving my physique, confirmed what I already knew about women and the way they behave and some of the games they play, okay? So, oh, yes. Man, I love this shit, man. I love what I do. Okay, this is gonna have to do for now because I actually didn't come here with my tripod to prop up the camera. But yeah, so, you know, one thing with women, okay, and I'm gonna get straight into the video, okay? One thing with women that they will do is they'll play a good game, okay? They'll play games on you, and some people call them shit tests, you know, some people call them, you know, they're trying to challenge your frame, things of this nature, okay? And the ways in which they'll do this, maybe the reasons why they'll do this will differ not only from man to man, but based on what kind of man you are. What area in life are you at? You understand? So anyway, for this specific video, we're talking about a guy who is in shape, someone like me, and how it differs from maybe you who's not currently in shape yet, you know, and the differences in that regard. So anyway, you know, growing up, I never had the best physique. Like I had tone here and there, but I had no real mass, okay? I wasn't attractive to the female gaze, you could say. And that's something I had to work on myself and sort of learn as to which muscles are to be prioritized when training, you know, how to eat properly so as to not develop any estrogenic sort of gyno, for example, or, you know, stuff like that, and how to make sure I'm living my life within alignment to where I'm trying to go, right? And when it came to women, you know, as they do natural shit tests, you know, and I want to talk about specifically when you do become lean. I'm sure we'll all have experienced a girl asking us a question such as, I bet you're speaking to loads of girls. You know, I bet you're speaking to Michael. I bet you say this to all the girls. I bet you say this to so many different girls, right? And the reason why this is a different kind of test in comparison to, say, if I was just an average guy, is because she knows that with a physique like mine, there's no doubt that there's going to be other girls either in my orbit or that I've spoken to and interacted with naturally, okay? And before I go and say anything else in this video, I want to preface this, and I want you guys to understand, as a man, there are many physical changes you'll go through, okay? And I'm not talking about puberty and shit like that, okay? Come on, like let's be grown, okay? I'm talking about how you will physically ascend in terms of your physique, okay? And your appearance. The issue with this is not enough guys change in the same way internally as the way they've changed externally. And what I mean by that is, you've gone to the gym for 6 months to a year, you've absolutely transformed your physique. That's more than enough time to build a great physique. Obviously, it can depend on where you're starting from, but if you have an average build, and you know, honestly, 6 months is a great amount of time to really transform your physique. You know, I've done it faster than that even, you know? And if you're somebody who's, you know, looking to do that sort of thing, I can assist you with that. You don't have to do it with me, but you've stayed here long enough. It would only make sense to, you know, prove to yourself you're not a time waster. So anyway, you're somebody who has transcended their physique. You know, you've gone from physique A to physique B. However, what's going on inside and internally has technically stayed the same. You got a little bit more attention from women. They've seen you, they're treating you a little bit different. You're experiencing the halo effect, you know, which is essentially where people will treat you differently, oftentimes better than they would treat other people based on your overall appearance. You're starting to look better, so people want to treat you better. That's what's called the halo effect. Okay, you get invited to different experiences. It's crazy. Okay, it goes deep. But anyway, a girl might give you a shit test, a certain style question. Okay, I bet you say this to all the girls. I bet you speak to so many different women. You see, a guy like me, say 5 years ago, no, you're the only one. Actually, you're unique, and I actually would never say this to any other girl. And you're like the only girl I speak to. Instantly loses attraction. But you know where the issue comes from? It's the fact that you developing a physique isn't going to change you replying in that way. You might still reply to her with what I just reenacted, right? You might still say that to her whether you have a physique or not. You understand? So when she's shit testing you and asking you these kind of questions, and this is why I say this is something I've already known about women, is because I know that they're gonna shit test you. But when I developed a physique, when I started to really change from a holistic kind of view, it helps me understand how and why they're shit testing you still, even when you're looking the part, even when you have the physique, even when you're starting to get your money right. They want to know, are you really the kind of guy? Is this just a jacket that you're wearing? Is it really you? Do you understand? You have to ascend internally and externally. And I'm using the word ascend because I think it really displays and portrays the kind of idea that I'm going for. Does this make sense? They want to know if you've really elevated internally, right? You want to be the kind of guy to tell her, either you brush it off or you give her a funny, playful answer. You could choose to dismiss it. All I'm saying is it needs to fall in line with your whole persona, your character, your appearance. Does this make sense? Because you don't want her to see you as just any other guy. You understand? And listen, this is especially true for women who want something serious with you. Women who want something serious with you will also play games. Guys are out here thinking that, I've got such a good physique right now. I feel so good about myself. If I come across a girl right now and she wants something serious and she comes across me, she's gonna be perfect. She's not perfect, but like she's gonna treat me with a certain level of just, how I'd expect her to treat me or some shit. No, that's not the case. Women will still play games, and it's in their nature. They kind of have to. They're testing your character. They're testing you. They are testing you, and it's literally their jobs to do that. Because tomorrow they might be in a certain situation with you or a relationship down the line. No woman wants to have kids with someone that she cannot trust, with someone that she doesn't deem to be a stand-up and respectable man, for example. A guy who knows his boundaries, who knows his limits, who knows how to say no. A woman who wants something serious with you will want to know that you are this kind of guy. Does this make sense? So sometimes when you go through these physical changes, you're cutting down body fat, you're looking absolutely amazing, carrot on the end of the stick, and the women are just chasing. Just because you feel like you've done all this work to attract them, don't start, letting your foot off the gas. I could talk about like continuing to self-develop even within a relationship. I could talk about that. That's not what I'm talking about right now. But you know where I'm coming from now. You think after doing all this work that these women are just going to come correct and they're just going to be perfect for you. That's where you get it all wrong. That's not what that's not how it is. So anyway, it's tough out here, man. It is tough. But You know, tough times never last, and only tough people last. You know, fortune favors the bold, fortune favors the brave. You know, and my whole thing is, if I can help you position yourself in a way where you don't have to encounter the same issues, the same roadblocks that the average guy is encountering, causing him stress, anxiety, pain, anger, resentment towards women. If I can stop you from walking down that road early, if I can pre-diagnose the issues you have, correct them, so that you can live a life of peace and low stress, and understand, because I know who I am, any woman that enters my orbit, if she's entering, it's because I said so, and if she leaves, it's because I willed it. And I'm completely okay either or. Then I can know that my job is done. Does this make sense? Now, I've been Michael Knight. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more of me, you know what to do. There are buttons to press. I personally love to see a comment on my videos. If you feel inspired, you can do the rest. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Let's go.